right when you thought you had the NFL figured out, they throw a couple crazy upsets and wacky fumbles and big-time steamroll wins at you. That has ripple effects across the football card market. So I'm here to get you guys caught up to speed on the top 10 NFL players going up in football card value after the main slates of Week 7. So let's dig in. It's only fitting that Kelce paced the position on National Tight End Day with a massive game. His 35.9 PPR fantasy points in Week 7 is the third highest scoring game of his career. Kelce and Mahomes are now fourth all-time amongst QB tight end touchdowns and don't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. However, right now we're seeing a small dip in the Patrick Mahomes market since the season started, as he has thrown 6 interceptions this season to date on 15 touchdowns. That's a pretty high interception to touchdown ratio, and as a result, we have seen a dip in his market. When you look at Travis Kelce, you have to consider the effects of Taylor Swift. In fact, some are speculating this has impact on his receiving production. As the game she's been at, he's averaged 108 yards per game, whereas when she's not there, he's averaging 46.5. And you look at the 60-day trends on his graded football card market, you got the base Topps and Topps Chrome up about 5%, but then that flagship brand, the Prism here from 2013 in PSA 10 condition, you got 497 of those. Those are currently selling and buy it now around $240. This is 6 times more than that of Keenan Allen, who only has a PSA 10 population on that card of 55, and his are currently selling for about $45. You go back to before the season in the middle of June, which is the heart of the offseason. You can see here May 13th and June, you had your lows on that Prism PSA 10 for Kelce around $127. So they've gone up about 100% since then. Even October 5th, you had an auction that dipped to $142.50. But the latest results, especially factoring in National Tight End Day, you have $240 and a $225 buy it now. You even have some eBay sellers who are now putting Taylor Swift in the listing title, helping that base Topps Chrome Raw sell for $35, which earlier at the beginning of the season, you can see a buy it now that went for $15, another auction that only had one bid that went for $10, before the season, another $10.50. So you can see that card was about $10 to $15 before the season, and now that's a $35 to $40 raw card. That's a 2 to 3x increase in the value of that card. His largest transaction on game day was this orange refractor PSA 10 that sold for $810. This is not a serial numbered card. And if you go back to when the season started, that card was selling for $440 on August 24th in a buy it now, or $450 on September 12th at the beginning of the season in a buy it now, but now almost doubled in value, $810 in auction yesterday, National Tight End Day game day. Some other honorable mention tight ends from National TE Day is Mark Andrews coming down with 4 catches for 63 yards and 2 touchdowns. Had some interesting sold, including his green Pulsar Prism rookie auto. Hate the fact they took that RC shield off, but it's still sold for $40, sealed by Panini and a buy it now. Some of those base cards selling. Here's that same green Pulsar Prism rookie auto sold for $28. But you had this big time Super Bowl ticket, rookie ticket auto here, number 1 of 1, that closed from PC Sports Cards for $660 in auction. Definitely his biggest transaction from game day. And then you had Darren Waller, who came down with 7 catches for 98 yards and a touchdown. And this guy had been a total bust and flop through the first 5 games of the year. He's now turned in 2 top 7 PPR fantasy performances over the last 3 games and is consistently earning a high percentage of the team's targets. This hasn't necessarily converted into a high price spike for his rookie cards on eBay, as Darren Waller is definitely aging at this point, and the Giants just overall stink. Dallas Goedert balled out with 5 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown, a big win over the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. Not a big demand and price spike for his cards, though. Bills rookie tight end Dalton Kincaid had 8 catches for 75 yards and turned in the best game of his young career. But if you look at the sold data, he's actually pretty low compared to Sam Laporta and the rest of this 2023 draft class, but primarily just Sam Laporta. even though they had a big loss yesterday. You can see like this Mosaic Reactive Blue Dalton Kincaid, $2.99, or this red Mosaic that closed an auction yesterday for $3, or even this red and yellow Choice serial numbered out of 80 that was sold in the Buy It Now, but it was marked down from $19.90 to $15. The Sam Laporta Reactive Blues are selling for $15. The Reds are selling for $10 to $15. As you can see, a Buy It Now for $10. Another auction that ended for right at 10, but then another auction that ended right at 20. Hey, real quick, if you guys are new here, welcome to the Football Card Quest. My name is Andy. We are 100% dedicated to football card research and selling tips, correlating NFL performance and fantasy football intel and statistics with the football card market on eBay, ComC, other football card marketplaces. So make sure you subscribe, turn those notifications on, and leave us a comment in the comment section below. Who's your favorite tight end coming off a National Tight End Day? All right, back to the action.
What's up, Football Card Quest? I'm Paul Hickey, co-host of the Sports Card Strategy Show right here on the nooffseason.com Sports Card Network. Be sure to check out our other great shows on the network by visiting nooffseason.com.
Deonta Foreman comes back out of obscurity after injuries to Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson to accumulate 3 receptions, 31 yards, and a touchdown, plus 16 carries for 89 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, and another 2 touchdowns on the ground for a total of 33 fantasy points. And the Buy It Now solds were popping off the charts for a bunch of low prices. I mean, 2017 rookie autos all around that $10 or under price. This is not higher than what they were before the season, as there was some expectations baked in for Deonta Foreman to be more of a factor in the Chicago Bears offense and the Chicago Bears to be better in general. However, Tyson Bagent, the rookie quarterback, who has a hive of collectors as he is the 2021 Harlan Hill Trophy winner, first team Division II All-American. Tyson Bagent brings moxie, energy, and pure arm talent to the NFL. He steps in for an injured Justin Fields' thumb, and Tyson Bagent, even though he only puts up 30 fantasy points, only throws 1 touchdown, only 162 passing yards, he does avoid any costly turnovers, only takes 1 sack, and has a quarterback rating of 97.2. And with a very limited rookie card supply, check out his Leaf Draft rookie auto here, selling for $60 in a Buy It Now, or $125 select draft picks auto. Both of those cards non-serial numbered. Even the base score here comes from a very small school, so base Prism draft pick cards are now selling for $8, including his largest Leaf Draft auto sale on game day of $150 Buy It Now. This card just 4 days prior sold in a Buy It Now for $25. Another one at $42 in auction that day, and another one for $6. The win moves the Bears to 2-5, and the Tyson Bagent largest sale from game day was this Prism draft picks rookie auto here, $850 Buy It Now. You also had a blue score tie-dye die cut out of 10 that was listed for $500. Somebody paid $250 for this on game day. Number 3 for me is the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. They dominated the Detroit Lions, who we previously thought were going to be on top of the NFC. They got crushed here 38-6, and the Ravens got off to a hot start off a Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown, and then another Lamar Jackson touchdown pass to Mark Andrews, and then another Lamar Jackson scramble, evade, buy time, and hit Nelson Aguilar in the back of the end zone, ultimately putting up a 155.8 passer rating, league high day for Lamar Jackson. Type of MVP 2019 performance from Lamar Jackson we're used to, almost 40 fantasy points, and the Buy It Now solds were aplenty. Look at this BGS 9 purple here, sell for $115. The red, white, and blue Buy It Now on the PSA 10 for $310, and these are just Monday morning quarterbacking sold transactions here, including a couple on the optic of 106 and 115 Buy It Now. And if you look at the historical data on that, the recent low on that has been $90. And a $79 transaction on September 3rd. So Lamar, in fact, is on the move up here. As you can see in the field level silver, up 15% to a new trend of almost $500. The base raw select premier level from 2018 selling in a Buy It Now for $20, which earlier in the season you could have got a PSA 9 for $20 on that card. His largest game day transaction was a Buy It Now. It's a National Treasures rookie patch auto, Nike logo check. You You've got some color match here. It's serial numbered out of 2. It's a BGS 8.5 though, which is why this card still is sold for $4,000, but is initially marked at $6,700 as Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are ascending right now. Zay Flowers saw 6 targets for the Raven, much of which were downfield than usual. He finished the game with 4 receptions for 75 yards. His largest transaction from game days is beautiful white mosaic prism out of 25. Rookie auto here, $282 in auction. A sad day for Lions fans on the loss, but Jahmyr Gibbs handled plenty of work in the passing game for the Lions. Got 10 targets, which he turned into 9 receptions for 58 yards. He also rushed for 68 yards and a touchdown, which was nice to see. His largest game day transaction was a true gold mosaic rookie auto out of 10 that sold for $400. Buy it now. Number 4 is Travis Etienne, because the Jags now move to 5-2, and Etienne has now scored 2 rushing touchdowns in 3 straight games, gobbling up both raw touches and the Jags' most important handles. Etienne has become a bona fide RB1, including the upcoming Week 8 matchup against the Steelers. And check out this Monday buy it now sold of a Travis Etienne Silver Prism Auto PSA 10 for $190. If you look at the historical data on that card, there's actually an auction that closed on that last October 4th, earlier in the month, for $71. So that's over a double up in the value of that card in less than a month. That is a big time flip, guys, for a running back. The volatility of the position. So there have been a ton of Travis Etienne buy it now solds in the past few days. His current rookie ticket auto market has the base raw optic rookie ticket auto closing for almost $50 in auction on October 19th. Whereas before the season, we have a playoff ticket auto out of 99 that sold for $40 in a buy it now August 26th. Whereas Silver Prism rookie ticket auto selling earlier in the season, September 26th, for $16.15. There's that base optic rookie ticket auto, September 11th, when the season started, for $16.50. So that's a big time 3x increase in the value of that card. And in fact, I noticed that was the variation. So here's another example of that other one going for a little bit higher. This variation here selling for $21.50. You can always tell it's the variation by looking at the card and looking at the back. If you want to find out which one's the base, which one's the variation, look at the back and look for the little football that has the V. So in fact, this one is the base that September 11th was selling for $21.50 with shipping $25. That's now about $50. Number 5 this week is going to be Kenny Pickett. Now that the Steelers have won 4 of their last 5 games, and although Kenny Pickett did not throw a touchdown in this game, he also didn't throw an interception, and he only took 2 sacks. Those are positives, plus they win. They're 4-2 in the division. He's got a 97.1 passer rating from this game. And check out the rookies and stars dressed for success jersey and auto rookie out of 99, $250. Buy it now today. The green prism raw base card, $12.90. There's literally no color matched in there at all. The orange cracked ice from 2022 Prism, PSA 10, $160. The challenge in quantifying a price increase in Kenny Pickett right now is that he got so hot during the preseason hype cycle before the season started. Those expectations went up really high, and therefore we saw the card spike pretty high. Look at this from August 27th and August 24th. You had a $410 buy it now on that orange cracked ice Prism August 24th, and a $312 auction August 22nd. So in fact, Kenny Pickett is not going up from before the season yet. However, as you can see here in the spike in sold volume, that could potentially lead to price increases. But you got to remember, Kenny Pickett's got about 5,000 different rookie cards as a first-round quarterback from 2022, and therefore he's got a lot of different cards, each with their own print run. So it's not uncommon, unlike Brock Purdy, to see these Kenny Pickett cards struggle to really go up here unless he makes a pretty significant playoff run or starts getting more and more MVP votes. When you look at the graded cards sold volume over the past 30 days, it is still absolutely dominated by Brock Purdy in the first 12, 16, almost 20 cards. The first 18 cards are all Brock Purdy in the past 30 days, and then you get a couple Kenny Pickett's like his Select and Select Prism there. But if you just look at that base Prism Brock Purdy, that's still over a $200 card in comparison of Kenny Pickett. So, in fact, Brock Purdy would still be your in-season leader in terms of price increase since the season started. And Kenny Pickett let down people as the season started, and they lost that week 1 matchup, which we knew was tough, but they got destroyed by the 49ers. Gets a couple wins, does okay, loses to the Texans in pretty remarkable fashion, gets pretty crushed there, and then bounces back now with a win against Baltimore and now at LA. So he's starting to inspire confidence once again, and that's why you're seeing all of this sold data from Kenny Pickett rolling in over the past 24 hours here. We'll see if he can sustain it and keep it moving forward, as they have a massive matchup this upcoming week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, guys. Now, real quick, if you want to get access to that Keep 'em web app that tracks all those graded football card prices from eBay with the price trends and the comparison charts and the hype index, and you want to get access to our Discord server, you want to get access to our weekly articles, our other bonus content, and monthly giveaways, breaks, group submissions, all that kind of good stuff, definitely check it out. It's footballcardquest.com. Click that button in the top right that says Go Premium, and that will take you to where you need to go. I'll see you over there. Now back to the action. Number 6 is Mac Jones. What? I told you guys there was some wacky upsets yesterday, and one of those was the Patriots beating the Buffalo Bills, their division rival, at home, after the mysterious news about the contract with Bill Belichick was leaked earlier in the morning before that game. You know, Mac Jones hit rock bottom, probably some of the worst performances of his NFL career. He bounced back with a far better game. He made several key passes to win the game once Buffalo took the lead. Jones passed for 9.1 yards per attempt and finished with an 86% adjusted completion rate on his way to 272 yards of passing and no interceptions. And all of a sudden, his cards become somewhat relevant again. Check out this 2021 Prism, light blue Prism, PSA 10. It sold in a buy it now for $100. But if you go back, that card actually sold for $62 in auction on October 8th. So we've got almost a 50% increase in the value of that card since in just a short 2-week period. And there were a lot of other buy it now sold transactions for Mac Jones, like his Optic Holo at $15 raw. And if you go back just a week prior, I mean, you can find that card being sold for $6.50, or the pink Optic Holo variation for $6. And although he didn't have any of his largest transactions in the past 90 days, yesterday or today, he did have this Eminence 1 of 1 that sold on October 10th for $3,550. So he's definitely got his hive of collectors still out there. And with how low his cards got, now you can see them going back up from this performance. New life has been brought to the New England Patriots after this win over the big-time Buffalo Bills. Honestly, I think the rest of this week's players going up after these performances could be a lot of defensive players, man. Scoring was down once again. I know we had 6 teams on bye, but there's only 38 offensive touchdowns. Scoring has been down across the league. And if you look at some of these stats that these defensive players are putting up, like Myles Garrett, who had a 94.2 PFF grade, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a field goal block, and then you had TJ Watt with the big interception he's a huge factor of the Steelers' success as well. Look at this buy it now sold today of A gold standard rookies platinum out of 49 PSA 9 sold for $100. Buy it now. So in fact, both TJ Watt and Myles Garrett are up over 10% back in over the past 6 months, the past 180 days. That base Prism from 2017, which comes silver standard out of the box for rookies, is their flagship card, just like it is for Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, or Cooper Kupp. The TJ Watt about a trend of $140. The Myles Garrett, a trend of $110. The 1 year all-time low for that card on TJ Watt is $86. You go back earlier in the season, you can see that $86 transaction, $90 buy it now. That was coming that ugly loss against the 49ers at the beginning of the season. And now we have a transaction yesterday for $167. So big time increase for TJ Watt. You even got a high there on an auction September 25th after a big game of $191. And so you go back and then you look at the Myles Garrett and you can find the 1 year low on that card, which has a much lower pop, by the way. Back on May 10th, there was a $36.88 transaction, a $34 one April 30th. And fast forward to today, Monday, after the big day from Myles Garrett, helping the Browns get that victory, definitely a big factor. He was the man. $153 today. That's a big time increase. Even just going back to October 18th, that card was $75. So you go through 1 week in a massive performance, just, headline performance across the NFL. You could almost double the value of that card, man. So if I had to give a number 9, it would be Mike McDaniel. I mean, Panini needs to print a coach's ticket auto here for Mike McDaniel. It would be popping. They've got some custom cards for Mike McDaniel selling for $15. You can see like helmets or autos, like even just a signed photograph here. Mike McDaniel's $20 sold. So this guy right now is blowing up on Twitter because of all of the bad refereeing that he has called out from last night. It wasn't just the missed calls on the Eagles. It was missed calls on the Dolphins. It was just bad refereeing altogether. There was bad refereeing in other games around the league. He just wants reform for refereeing in the NFL, and this is getting a ton of traction right now on Twitter. Mike McDaniels has called them all out, including bringing up some backstory to some of the refs being like right down the street from Philadelphia. And obviously not an excuse for losing last night in a big-time primetime matchup. This is no secret. USA Today talking about how the officiating crew was a farce last night. So big-time blast to officiating this morning, which is going viral on Twitter right now. But seriously, though, if a coach's ticket auto was made for Mike McDaniel, it would be blowing up right now. Because look at this for Kyle Shanahan playing tonight against the Minnesota Vikings. Big matchup, fun Monday night matchup. Kirk, Zero Chains right now is going to be playing in prime time because he's just not historically good in prime time matchups. We'll see what he does tonight without Justin Jefferson against that elite 49ers defense. And Kyle Shanahan, cracked ice, coach's ticket auto. Sold for $210 in auction just 3 days ago, guys. So Brian Dable, here's a green Pulsar 2022 Contenders Optic coach's ticket auto for Brian Dable, numbered out of 30. That sold for $60. So you can see, these coaches' ticket autos are quite popular, man, and they do get a lot of traction. There's even one for Rex Ryan that sold for about $20. Here's one for Adam Gase that sold, that was May 16th, but still. For number 9, I'm going with Josh Downs, who posts the best numbers of his career. He achieved the first 100-yard game of his NFL career and scored a touchdown for the second straight week. So he is on the way up. His Panini Black right now, one of the top sets out for rookies, out of $199 sticker rookie auto, sold for $20. Check it out, man. He's getting some buy it now love here. A horizontally formatted Mosaic Genesis NFL debut that sold for $40. Buy it now. Or you have this Luminance out of $350 that sold today in a best offer accepted format. The Luminance Year 1 rookie auto base blue ink. $20 with $10 shipping from Australia. Josh Downs, futures, rookie patch auto at 249.25. So you can see the love picking up quite a bit here for Josh Downs on his rookie product. Gardner Minshew also having a big day, man. Just a critical mistake, turnover. Killed their game at the end. Really close game. Kind of wild, wacky finish there. If I had to give a number 10, it would probably be Jalen Hyatt for the New York Giants. He made a couple big plays. He caught 2 passes for one was for 42 yards and another for 33 yards. His snap share has also increased the past 2 weeks. He is now at a career high, season high. He's a rookie, right? So career high first year. Almost 75% snap share. And if go back earlier in the video and check out the red and yellow choice serial numbered out of 80 cards that we looked at for Sam Laporta. And these are doing better than those. That one sold at $28 in auction. We had the blue reactive here at $4 in a buy it now. So in fact, with the limited supply, his rookie cards are doing okay when you filter through all this data. Couple honorable mentions, a couple other takeaways. Michael Mayer's playing time continues to ascend here. He caught 5 passes for 75 yards and an increased role last week, and his role expanded further this week. He played 81% of Las Vegas's offensive snaps. Got to monitor Jerome Ford's health after getting off to the hot start. He saw a couple buy it now solds. He started to think he was going to take off again after the Nick Chubb injury. He had this monster breakaway run, but he was seen in a walking boot by the end of the game. Now we got to monitor what could potentially be a high ankle sprain. A little bit frustrating scenario there. Looks like Donovan Peoples-Jones, his snap shares continued to decline. It might be time. I know you're not getting anything for him anyway, so he's probably just a hold at this point. But it is important to note that his snap share has gone down each week. Dalton Kincaid is starting to ascend as well. So a lot of love for tight ends this week, National Tight End Day. We'll see what happens tonight. Maybe a George Kittle, TJ Hawkins citing the 49ers have been very good against tight ends all year. So it's going to be a tough matchup for T-Hawk, but he's got to step up in Justin Jefferson's absence. This has been the top 10 this week, guys, week 7. This is what it is, guys. Definitely the defensive players are making a huge name in case for themselves to be right up there with the best of the offensive skill position players, guys. I hope you had a lot of success yesterday. You're going to have to tune in tomorrow and Wednesday to find out more about my success this past week on Underdog Fantasy. But until then, I'll see you in that next video, guys. Peace.